January 26, 1950, dawn broke over a transformed nation. The Constitution of India came into effect, declaring the country a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic. These weren't just words, they were a pledge, a promise to uphold justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity of every Indian. Behind this historic moment lay years of struggle, vision, and relentless effort. A journey from colonial subjugation to self governance, from fragmented provinces to a united republic. But how did this remarkable transformation take place? Let's journey back in time to unravel the story of how India became a republic. It all began under the shadow of British colonial rule. For centuries, India was governed by laws that served the British Empire, not its people. Starting with the Government of India Act 1858, the British Parliament consolidated control, relegating Indians to mere spectators in their governance. Later acts, Indian Council Act of 1861, 1892 and 1901 introduced some representation, but these were mere tokens. The fire of self-rule was ignited. However, as India's leaders demanded not just participation, but complete control over its destiny, in 1928, the first significant step was taken. Under the leadership of Motilal Nehru, the Nehru Report emerged, a visionary framework for self-governance, envisioning an independent India with fundamental rights and a parliamentary system. This was no ordinary document. It reflected the aspirations of millions yearning for freedom. Yet British authorities dismissed it, but the idea of a constitution by and for the people had taken root, and it was here to stay. By 1934, M.N. Roy, a radical thinker, proposed the formation of a Constituent Assembly. The Indian National Congress adopted this demand in 1935, pressing for an assembly to frame an independent constitution. The British refused, unwilling to relinquish control. World War II changed everything. As global power dynamics shifted, the British faced mounting pressure from freedom movements, international allies. In 1940, the August Offer marked the first reluctant acknowledgement of India's demand for self-governance. Finally, Cabinet Mission Plan of 1946 laid the framework for elections to the Constituent Assembly, signaling the beginning of a historic journey. Elections to the Constituent Assembly were held in 1946. Of the 389 seats, 296 were allocated to British Indian provinces and 93 to princely states. Yet the challenges were far from over. The horrors of partition in 1947 reduced the assembly to 299 members. The trauma of violence and displacement shook the nation, but the assembly pressed forward with unmatched resolve. It was a microcosm of India itself, a diverse assembly of leaders, thinkers and reformers. Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians and Parsis came together, along with 15 trailblazing women who shattered the barriers of shape India's future. Among them were Sarojini Naidu, Rajkumari, Ambedkar and Hansa Mehta, voice of equality, rights and empowerment. December 9, 1946, momentous day. The Constituent Assembly convened its first session in the magnificent Constitution Hall, now the central hall of the Parliament. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha, the eldest member, presided over the session as the provincial chairman. 2 days later, Dr. Rajendra Prasad was elected as the permanent president of the assembly. His calm leadership would steer this monumental task over the next 3 years. On December 13, 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru rose to present the objective resolution. It was no ordinary resolution. It articulated India's aspirations, a sovereign republic dedicated to the ideals of justice, equality and liberty. These words formed the foundation of Constitution. They inspired the preamble, the guiding spirit of republic, which declares, "We the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic." Drafting committee was formed on August 29, 1947. At its helm was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, a scholar, a jurist, social reformer, hailed as the architect of Indian Constitution. Ambedkar brought unparalleled dedication and vision to the task. With his team, including Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyer, K. Munshi and T.T. Krishnamachari, the committee worked tirelessly, drawing from global constitutions while addressing India's unique challenges. The first draft was ready by February 1948, and for the first time in history, it was shared with the public. Over 7,600 suggestions poured in, reflecting the pulse of vibrant democracy making. The Assembly debated every clause of Constitution with rigor. Over 114 days of discussion spanning nearly 3 years, they tackled issues like federalism, minority rights, and the abolition of untouchability. But Dr. B.R. Ambedkar famously said, however a good constitution may be, it is sure to turn out bad because those who are called to work it happen to be bad ones. His words remain a sobering reminder of the responsibilities we bear. On November 26, 1949, the Constituent Assembly adopted the final draft of the Constitution. It was a masterpiece of 395 articles, 12 schedules, and 22 parts. Each page was handwritten by Prem Bihari Narayan Raizada with exquisite illustrations by Nandalal Bose showcasing India's cultural heritage. The Constitution wasn't just a legal document, it was and remains a symbol of India's soul, built on the ideals of freedom fighters. Finally, January 26, 1950 dawned. This date was chosen to honor the Purna Swaraj Declaration of 1930, a day that symbolized India's resolve for complete independence. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was sworn in as the first President of India. The Constituent Assembly transitioned into the Provisional Parliament, and the Republic of India was born. Today, the Indian Constitution stands as the longest written constitution in the world. With over 100 amendments, it adapts to the needs of a dynamic society. Yet its core principles, democracy, justice, and equality remain unchanged. The Constitution is not a legal framework, it is a living testament to the unity and the diversity of India. As we celebrate the legacy of the framers of our Constitution, let's remember that this story is still being written by you, by us, by the people of this great republic. The Constitution empowers us, but it also challenges us to uphold its ideals every single day. Let's honor the sacrifices that brought us here. Let's safeguard the democracy we inherited. Jai Hind.